Well, I guess we have to start talking. Hey everybody, it's me, EMAN, and today we're going to be talking about the Minecraft Better Together update, and what I personally think about it. Now, to be honest, Minecraft Better Together really doesn't make sense to me at all, but I can kind of get it because the thing is that there are all these versions of Minecraft, and for 4J Studios, they're the guys that make, all the console updates, and whatever Minecraft or Microsoft plans to put on there is going to be there. It's just going to be in consoles. Now, what kind of bothered me at first with console editions of the games is why they don't really counterfeit with the PC version of the game. It doesn't really make sense to me, but to be honest, I'm not really going to be a big fan of this. What's kind of bothering me a bit is the fact that this exists, and they plan on pretty much having everybody in one single area. There's one game, and there's going to be crossplay. To be honest, I honestly don't care about crossplay. We're going to have Nintendo Switch, Xbox people, and PC people as well. Now, what really does annoy me a little bit is kind of that even though this is going to be what we're going to get, I feel that though it should have been the thing that should have happened in the first place. Like, sure, when, Notch Person created the game, I totally understand the fact that, he didn't want to, I guess he just kind of created a PC version, and then it was bought by Microsoft, and, he didn't like his purchase or whatever. So when Microsoft kind of took it over, I feel though they're kind of changing, I guess to be honest, this is going to be hard to really explain because none of this makes any sense right now, but I feel that Microsoft is not making a right choice. Sure, the Better Together update is going to bring all the console versions of the game into one single version, and everybody will be able to play it. But I feel that even though that is going to be the case, I just don't think that's going to be the right decision. I don't think that they should do that at all. And here's why to me. I think that even though they will, this will happen and these versions of Minecraft will no longer exist, the problem is that you're putting all these kind of random people out of nowhere, and it feels odd afterwards. I think that maybe if this wouldn't be such a huge problem, if only, 4J Studios made the exact same game from scratch, well, the entire game from the PC, and just plop it down on, the whole entire console market. I feel that even though making their own console editions of this really didn't make sense to me, but now because they kind of did this, the problem is people have been with it so long that they're going to have to get used to the new controls, how it's all going to work, and the fact that it's sort of like a pocket edition. This isn't really the kind of style we're getting, because you have to remember, this is a whole different setup, and it uses Pocket Edition in Windows 10, and so all the old versions are never going to, be what they were anymore. You're not going to get any updates from them anymore, and there's not going to be anything else coming. So it feels weird to do this at all, and I don't think it's right. So let me show you right now, for example, the menus. They've completely revamped the menus as Windows and PC. Well, not PC, just Windows 10 and Pocket Edition. Now here comes the big problem. The menus are very different than what they look like in console editions. And I feel that, sure, they are allowed to do that because it's a port of a game that simply just uses different controls. I just don't think that it's right. that to change the whole settings and everything's just completely changed, and it makes things harder for people that have grown with the console editions and having to move to a one single game and where all consoles are going to play together. And then one of my other problems mostly is how this crossplay is going to work. I don't necessarily think that it's that bad, because I mean, sure, we have iOS and Android crossplay on, Pocket Editions of Minecraft because they're both phones. But with consoles, they all have different inferior hardware limitations, but because it's Minecraft, it's not that bad. But one of the big problems is 4K and the way it makes things look beautiful on the Xbox One X. Nintendo Switch can't handle that. And if they were to add that, that's kind of a big problem, because then Nintendo Switch can't handle that kind of power. So I'm not sure what they're going to do about that, because that doesn't really seem to be the right ideal. And it's either that they're going to do that, or they're just going to make sure that you cannot go into the setting because of crossplay. To be honest, I really don't care what they're going to do about that crossplay, because I'm still going to play with everybody and it doesn't, affect anything. I guess now next is to talk about the crafting. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. The crafting in Pocket Edition and Windows 10 are not the most efficient. I honestly think that they're not the best, and they're very, very terrible. Because I understand that it has to be Pocket Edition because you're using your touch, and Windows 10 does the same thing. It's just you gotta use a computer. Now here comes the big problem. I looked at videos of this, and look what comes. So let me actually first, and I just remember that was very stupid of me. And let me put it out right now. This is the classic crafting. This is what I'm used to. And I don't want to switch it up at all. This is perfectly fine. It's just now you have to kind of place it down, or you can't switch the settings so that then you can do this, because it's going to use Windows 10 and Pocket Edition together, and it mostly is Pocket Edition, so you're going to have this awkward menu that pops up, and it's not cool. It's not cool for people that use controllers, because they can't get used to that as easy. And then in creative mode, for example, everything is not labeled. It's all in a huge scroll. So you have to kind of, instead of like these little scroll downs like you see there, it's all going to go scrolling down. Like going, like, I don't know how to put this. This is very difficult to understand. But like a touch screen, and you swipe up. It's like that. And there's no labels. So that's going to make crafting things a little bit harder, because now you have to kind of type it in. And typing with a controller is not good either. You're going to need a keyboard and a mouse in order to do that. But the problem is that console editions use controllers. They don't use that unless you like that style. You can connect it already to your consoles, and you can use that to play Minecraft. One of the other problems I also have with it is that all the texture packs are kind of all going to be gone. So the Mario edition is going to be gone because crossplay. I feel that, because that I use this, the world that I am in right now really does look nice. It really does make things look a lot cool, like a little bit cooler, a little bit colorful, and because I try to use it as a kind of real city idea, but it's not really the best. It's just now when I port it into there, the textures are all going to be different, and it's going to really mess up how I did my worlds other times. So having to change all that just for the sake of porting it there to that new Better Together update, it doesn't make sense at all for that kind of need to do that. Now they're completely getting rid of it once that's out, so for anybody who still has this old version that I'm in right now, they can use it. It's just the big problem being that now you simply can't get any more updates from there anymore. They're not gonna update the consoles anymore, and they're gonna go for the one version, and it's just gonna be called Minecraft because everybody's gonna use the same version. Now that's understandable, but now here comes one of the other problems. Xbox 360 and PS3. They are very old consoles, and people still have them. And because of that, that makes it a lot harder to kind of keep up with updates, and I understand. So, for one thing, it doesn't seem right to do, that kind of play, because you're really kind of giving off the feeling that now you have to switch there, and maybe your hardware on the Xbox 360 may not be as good. It may be very laggy, but you'll never know because you can't really get the beta version of that on Xbox 360 whatsoever. Now, I guess the last thing to quickly talk about is really that this exists and why it didn't exist when the original PC version was out. So it's a little decision, and I can't really argue with it because it's, the original creator, Marcus, didn't intend for, to be this big hit, and then Microsoft bought it, and then they got 4J Studios to kind of create console editions, and I totally get that. So really, what kind of bothers me is why this, the fact that this exists, that, I have this Minecraft version here when I could have a PC version of that right on my console and maybe just be a little bit inferior but can still run it. Like, why couldn't we get that many years ago? And I really want to talk to Microsoft and 4J Studios about why, this decision kind of exists. It's kind of bothering me a little bit that I am going to have to do that one time. And because of it, it's really going to change how, Minecraft will kind of have this effect on everybody, because now they kind of have to deal with the fact that now they have to constantly, realize that this is a whole new version, and people are not going to get used to that at first. So I think that maybe as long as people are still playing the betas of Minecraft Better Together, maybe in about 10 to 20 years, we'll have children that won't honestly care because they've already getting used to it and they pretty much are fluent with that. Well, we just can't get over it. But that's kind of it. Otherwise, overall, I think it's an okay version. It's just that it's Pocket Edition and Windows 10 kind of just placed in a huge, into one. So having to use those is iffy. But overall, I think that maybe this will be a success. Maybe it'll be a failure, and 4J has to go back to doing consoles because Better Together did not do well. But let's see what happens. Anyway, that's my opinion on Minecraft Better Together. What did you guys think about Minecraft Better Together? Do you think that it's gonna be the best update, or at least best Minecraft that will ever exist, or do you think that it was just better to kind of create a PC version port to all consoles? Leave it down in the comments below, and I can't wait to see what you guys put. Anyway, see you all next time.